Hey everybody, Alex here from healthhacksreview.com. So this video, I've been getting so many questions on all these carbon saunas, which flood the market and look the same by picture. Are they all the same? And so this video is about the most important aspects to quickly evaluate and compare carbon emitters to carbon emitters. So remember, it's the carbon emitter that emits infrared, and so therapeutically I like to always analyze which sauna or which type of emitter technology is going to potentially give you more efficacy, more therapeutic power. And so when we talk about the therapeutic effectiveness or efficacy of a carbon emitter, okay, carbon heater, what the specification or the rating or the measurement term for that is called emissivity. That's how much infrared is being put out and will be absorbed, okay, by the user. All right, so it's very simple when you look at it that way. We think, that's pretty obvious. I just get the emissivity rating for these different emitters. The company will tell me, and I'll be able to compare, right? It's just kind of like you'd think you could compare car to car by miles per gallon, right? You just get the miles per gallon between them and say, well, this one's the most efficient. I'm going to go with brand A car, right? Well, it should be like that. I wish it was like that. But unfortunately, it's not. So a lot of these companies might even talk about emissivity. Very well-known brand does that. You might talk about it. But then when you actually say, okay, well, you're talking about it, where's the actual emissivity rating of your particular emitter, right? Nowhere to be found. That data doesn't exist. They're not going to furnish it to you. A lot of companies are like that, okay? And so that's what you want to look for. Be careful if a company, instead of giving you the exact measurement, because either they did get the measurement or they're just not furnishing it from the manufacturer, either they don't have that data, and or what they provide you instead, which is a little misleading, is a very common emissivity report for all the different types of materials out there. Okay, carbon, different types of metals, ceramics, quartz. I mean, just it's a long list, right? That's an emissivity table, right? And that is accurate. However, it's not accurate for what the exact emitter is that's inside that brand's sauna, okay? So that table, again, is accurate of all these different materials, but we want to know if the sauna company or the manufacturer factory actually have as an emissivity rating for their particular emitter that is in there, okay? Because that particular emitter in there is going to be a mix of compounds, and it may vary brand to brand, although most of the carbons are very similar, technology are almost identical, they're emitters. But the point is, don't accept that table, okay, of different materials enlisted, all right? And just keep in mind that in that table that's commonly listed for all the different emissivity for all the different materials, they put carbon in there. But that carbon element is more like a carbon type of fiber. That can be a little bit different than carbon ink or other things that they're using in the actual emitters and these saunas. So again, ask for that spec, request that spec. That's how I personally will compare brand to brand. And so we may see things like one carbon emitter system being 70% efficient or emissive, all right, versus another one that might be 95%. Okay, so when it comes to efficacy, 95% would be more ideal, okay? And you might then value that sauna that has that sort of rating or that info higher, and it might be more worth your dollar, right? This is just basically how we would compare and shop and be an informed purchase decision. So what sounds simple, getting that information from these companies, it can be very challenging. The other thing that is related to emissivity is watt density. So another thing you can try to ask for is the watt density of a carbon emitter. That again is something that info does exist, but many of these companies and factories don't want to give you that information because what'll happen is that you'll very quickly see that 90% of the carbons have the same kind of watt density, same technology and there may be just 2 to 3 brands that are different. And these companies that are blocked in that 90% identical emitters, they don't want the consumer to think, well, if it's the same sauna as, A and B are the same, and yours is $1,000 more, or this one's $1,000 less, why don't I just get the one that's less costly? They don't want you to be able to make that comparison, and they don't want to level the playing field, even though they're identical. So watt density is also related to the size of the carbon heater and how efficient it is, how much wattage is going in there. And generally speaking, the more intense carbons use smaller carbon emitters, so more wattage goes to it, and that can be converted to infrared, and it gets hotter essentially also, and can produce a greater output of infrared. There's really, to my knowledge, only a couple brands out there that actually do that, and the rest of all the carbons are identical technology, pretty much identical performance for the most part. So look for that rating as well. If you have any questions about a carbon sauna that you're evaluating currently, a company, and you just want immediate answers, information, I've probably already done the review and analyzed the company and the technology they're using. I'd be happy to assist you. If you just basically go to my website, healthhacksreview.com, if you fill out the contact page or the support page, just fill out your questions, or just feel free to give me a call anytime. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks for watching.